Okay, we are going to learn about line quality today in the computer environment doing digital illustration. This, however, is a traditional drawing that was inked over. Jack Kirby, the man that created Captain America, drew this up in pencil, and an inker came along with a black ink and a brush, and he delineated the pencil drawing. You can see where he chose to make these not so perfect replications of the drawing. So inkers get a bad rap because they're considered by a lot of people that don't know any better to be tracers. They truly are tracers, but the skill set that they have and the decision making that they do can sometimes improve the drawing greatly or take away from the drawing. So you can see all the decisions that he's making here. He decided that this striped area around the abdomen should be a little bit higher perhaps. What else is he doing here? He decided not to go and ink over the brow here. He left it blank, although the pencil from the artist is indicating there. Can you imagine being somebody that said, I don't think what Jack Kirby did is up to snuff, I'm going to change it this way? So again, if you'll notice, there's a lot of line quality here that's done with a paintbrush and a ruler, and you're getting variations in line thickness. But to be sure, there's no two lines that are exactly the same width. You can see what might be a mistake right there if you're talking about the fact that it got a little bit thick. You're superimposing lines this way on angles to create more density of value, so that you're using value to indicate, or you're using line to indicate value. Okay, so what we're trying to do here with our project is we're going to get sketches that are probably pretty similar to this one here. And what we need to do is we need to draw over the top of it and make it look like it's been inked in the traditional language, meaning thick and thin brush aesthetic, okay? I'm going to create a new layer here. You can see I've got my source images. They're on layer 1 named source image, and they're locked. I'm on artboard 1 right now, and I'm going to get my pen tool, and I'm going to draw like we always do. And I'm going to go up here and change my stroke color, letter X, to red so we can see what we're doing, and get rid of the black fill. Okay, zooming in, Command Spacebar. Hovering over this, I don't have the slash mark indicated, therefore I can continue to draw. So right here, I'm going to decide that this edge of the nose is more aesthetically appealing than that nose, and I'm going to go and curve it out instead of making it angular. Option. So always pulling handles out. Option for corner anchor points. Okay, so there's the contour edge of this drawing. Now I go to the strokes, and I can go to the weight, and I can bolster it. But the problem is that it doesn't have any life. It's very uniform, it looks computer generated, and so what I want to do is I want to create something that's got a little bit more of the brush indication. So when you drag a brush in a straight line, it's straight, but when you turn, it'll expand a little bit, it'll fan out, and you'll get thicker line quality around curves. So the way that, there's a few ways to do this. So I'm going to go and grab this line, and what we did earlier on with our cartoon character is how you go and you can trace the whole thing as a silhouette and then extend this further away from the center area. But we're not going to do that here. We're going to go to Object, because this is a line drawing, there's no fill color. We're going to Object, expand this stroke. Fill and stroke, you don't need to worry about the stroke or the fill because there isn't one. Stroke, however, does need to be expanded. And if you hit Command Y, you would see Control Z or Command Z. That's before, that's the stroke. This is after the expansion of the stroke. So what that allows us to do is, I'm going to change this assigned color for this layer so I can see more readily. What this allows us to do is with the direct selection tool, the white arrow, you can grab anchor points and you can do the simulation by grabbing these and giving it a thick and thin line quality, like which is what we're looking for. And that's why I've provided the Captain America image, so that you can learn from the best. Okay, there's going to be a thickening here, and then it's going to get a little bit more fine as you come and gather yourself here, but then it'll get thicker again around the nose. Then at the lip area, it's going to get tighter here. I've got too many anchor points here, so I hit the command, or I'm sorry, I just hit the letter P, hover, get the negative mark, which means I can delete that anchor point. And I can delete anchor points because, again, remember the name of the game is economy of anchor points. So this one, let's see, I want this to echo the thickening, gradual thickening that you're getting right here around the jaw, or the lower lip, sorry. So that's one way to go. We're going to go and put this as a, let's say, yeah, that's something you can see right there. The other thing we can do is with the letter, or let's see, with the pencil tool, if I hit the letter N, that's the pencil tool, and I can click, double click on the pencil tool, and I can make accurate or I can make smooth. I want accurate. Accurate's going to mean a lot more anchor points, but you're going to get closer to what you indicate. Within 20 pixels, meaning that if I drag and I have to resume the line, if I'm within 20 pixels, it'll pick up and continue. Option key toggles to the smooth tool. I want that. That's a very, very important tool. We'll go over that in a second. Okay to this. So now I'm going to go and just trace with the pencil tool that shape. I'm going to go and give it a blue stroke on it. I'm going to go over here and bolster it. So again, you can see there's a lot more texture to this particular line quality. The edge has got a lot of waves and bumps to it. It's all caused based on this kind of a lackadaisical anchor indication. So let's go and undo this. And, or you know what, rather, let's go do what we just did. We're going to go and object expand this one. Fill and stroke. There's no stroke, or I mean there's no fill, so get rid of that. There's your shape. And then if you hit the option key, it gives you the smooth tool. You can go in here and you can get rid of a lot of the unnecessary anchor points and smooth out the contour edge of your brush stroke here, or this stroke that you've created. Now this, I'm going to go and see what I can do about that. Okay. Option key smooths that out. Now, brushes don't come and terminate at a squared off filbert kind of an edge. Filbert's a brush. You want this sort of a situation so that it terminates in a point. Same thing here. Look for that negative while you hover the pen tool over. Pull this where it needs to be. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. You can get rid of this one. So you can see that this is easier perhaps for people that are not familiar with the pen tool. But if you know the pen tool, this is snappy to go right through it and make it really clean the first time through. All this rehashing of what you've already done is kind of tedious. But it can be done. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to go with my pencil tool, letter N, and I'm going to draw a custom brush stroke. And notice I come around and there's the circle popping up, meaning I'm closing that shape. I'm going to go and give it this color. And this is not a stroke. This is an absolute shape that I have filled with a color, fill. And then I'm going to come over here to my brushes, and I will grab the black arrow, grab this, and drag it in here. And what kind of a brush am I looking for? I'm looking for an art brush. You also have pattern brush and scatter brushes. This is for texture. This is probably for doing clothing indications, like patterns for like plaid perhaps. But art brush, we're going with that. Now this is indicating when you click and you drag, you're going to go in this direction. That's the way that the brush stroke will look. I want to scale proportionately, or do I want to fit? I want to stretch it to fit the length of the stroke. So when I draw, I want, if I make a size that's longer than this stroke, I want to stretch the stroke to go and coincide with the length of my drawing, my line. Fixed, pressure, stylus wheel, tilt, bearing, rotation. If you have a Wacom tablet, you can use the pressure sensitive situation here so that when you press down, it'll simulate the brush stroke, which means it's going to get thicker, and then you lighten the hand and it's going to come up and be thinner. So we're going to go with fixed, and I don't want to flip across. I just want it exactly the way I have it here. I'll say okay to that. I'll delete this. And then I'm going to go and draw something, let's see, like the nose. Letter N, I'll go grab the edge of the nose, hit that. And now you can go in here and you can lower the stroke weight to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to go here with my pencil and go up, down, and I can hit the letter I and sample this, unless I'm not. Okay, it doesn't work that way. That's unfortunate. Grab this and make your own decisions on this. Should it be thicker? Should it be thinner? Okay. Lastly, I'm going here, up and down and around. Brush stroke again. And lastly here, actually. Grab that and do that. And thin that out perhaps. Okay. So the mouth is pretty decent. I'm good. Okay, that's what we got going on there. Let's go draw the nasal opening. And I would go with the pen tool here and just create a shape like this. And fill it. Get an oval shape here. Rotate it. Hover over the end, get that rotation to happen. Okay, and let's draw an eyebrow. And I might be able to get away with just doing the eyebrow with the brush stroke. And beef this thing up. Grabbing it with the white arrow and doing this. Rotating it perhaps a little bit, letter V, bounding box. Oh, I want to get this wrinkle in here too. So you can do this with the pen tool. It doesn't have to be the pencil tool. Brush. Okay. And this is an example of cross-hatching. So I'm going to go here and here. Drag a copy, Option key, rotate it slightly. Zoom in, spacebar command. Drag another copy and reduce this a bit. Extend this one a bit. And then I can just marquee over all three of these. Copy, paste on top is Command C, Command F. And you can rotate those and drop those here. Rotate this one into position because I trust the drawing. I think the drawing looks better than what we have replicating the same pattern. You want to make sure that you can give it a little life. All right, that's all I'm going to do. And let's see what this is going to look like. Okay, marquee this. I'll make it a black fill. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Black fill. All right, so because some of these are still strokes, I need to go Object Expand them, Object Expand Appearance. And let's go and fill them all with black. No stroke. Some of these still have the strokes in them, so you got to go in there and manually get rid of those. White arrow, grab the stroke, delete. White arrow, grab the stroke, delete. Okay, lastly for some finish, I'll probably just put it inside of a circle. Command A, Command 7, white arrow, select this, and give this a black brush stroke. Nothing doing there. And maybe the contrast of the brush stroke and the nice clean line on the outside might be good for contrast. All right, obviously we don't like that. That's a tangency. So we can move that away slightly. And that's what we're looking for, something like this to complete the Chalk Hospital cartoon. We're going to get the drawings from the students that are doing the drawing classes, and we're going to get pencil drawings and reinterpret them with these tools that we've just covered today.